Om Vang me manasi pratisthita mano me vachi pratishthitam aviravirma edhi vedasyama anistha shrutam me ma prahasihi anena dhitena horatra Samdadhami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, Suryaya Vahatu Ragat Savitayam Avasrajat Aghasu Ahanyante Gavo Arjunyo Pariuhyate. The bridal pomp, this is Griffith of Surya, which Savitar started, moved along. In Magha days are oxen slain, in Arjunis they wed the bride. Interestingly, Griffith is the only one who translates it in the poetic rhythm. Did you notice this? He tries to put it into rhythmic English. So the bridal ceremony of Surya moved forward. Suryaya Vahatu. Vahatu is that bridal ceremony or marriage party. Pragat moved forward, which Savitar released from above. I'd add from above, Avasrajat. Savita Yam, whom or which Savitar Avasrajat. Cast down, literally. That's why I say released from above. Aghasu anyante gavo, in the time of Aghas. Agha is the, here you can find, dangerous, sinful, name of Asura, evil, sin, impurity, and the constellation usually called Magha. Only in this place, yeah, it is interpreted as Magha constellation. You remember Radha was mentioning in New Perspectives, the marriage of Magha starts with Magha and goes into Falguni. Purva and Uttara Falguni is next. Arjun Yoh Pariyuhyate. And in the Purva and Uttara Falguni, there is marriage. Yeah? Pariyuhyate is, she is being led around the fire, most probably. Carried around. Interestingly, from here, this vivaha, yes, vivaha is marriage, but it is from root vach, to move, to flow, to blow. It is something with a current. It's like a river, but the current moves. And this is marriage. You join the current. You join the stream of time, the stream of becoming, the stream of change. I was thinking why vivaha is vivaha, why this vach is used root for marriage. I think it is something which will generate or create the becoming. And because of that, the stream is to be joined. You have to be part of this stream of time and kind of bring to it your contribution, become part of it. Makes totally sense from the deepest perspective, yes? from the spiritual perspective. Because if you are staying alone as a tapasvin, you may not join the stream of time and not contribute to the actual physical life, which is constantly changing. For that, you have to marry. Interestingly, that Savitar Avasrajat released this Vahatuh. Vahatuh is movement, again, the stream. Savitayam, which Vahatuh he released from above, of Surya, of the daughter of the son of his daughter, movement, flow, moved forward, which Savitar released from above. Just imagine how it is. So it's like totally different from the marriage party. There is also mentioning of the slaying of the cows or bulls. Usually this was the VIP meat. I know that Indians are very much against this, but it could be because Hanyante is definitely the word to kill, to strike. Gavach are cows in this case, or cannot be the rays of light, because difficult to translate that the rays of light are killed. Slaughtered, slain. Yeah, there is difficult with this part interpretation because we do not know what agha. Agha is interesting word, why it's sin, evil here. It is from, there are several words of this kind. Amhas is one of them, and then aghas. They are all indicating Ahi, from here, Ahi, the snake, the python, which is killed by Vritra, by Indra. Vritra is Ahi. The it is why Ahi is snake, Amhas is darkness, or this kind of sin, and Agha and Aghas is the same, from the same root, is this narrowing down, pressing out the space, making light less and less visible, so to say. It's narrowing of consciousness when it is totally disappearing. So this is Amhas, the narrowness. From here, here, this the python which coils around and pressing down out of you the life. So this part is aghasva, interesting in that sense. So in the time of the narrowing down, maybe the rays of light are hit or disappearing, hanyante, are killed. In the times of the when the consciousness is descending into the inconscient, then the rays of light, the light itself is becoming less and less available, is slaughtered. But in the Arjun Yoga, an interesting Arjuni is the light, bright. Yes, Arjuna is bright, light, white. But in the 2 months or in the 2 periods of Arjuni, she is, or someone is, pariuhyate is passive voice, is being led around. So there are as if 2 movements in the marriage. One is a contraction where the consciousness is narrowed down to the extent that light disappears, and the other is the bright 2 periods, frameworks, where there is leading around or driving around us, flowing around us, moving around. Yeah? Pariuhyate is moved around. So one is kind of centered, another is moving around. I do not know what it could mean in the occult sense, but I'm just translating the language. And you think. Yat Ashvina Prichamanao Ayatam Trichakrena Vahatum Suryayach Vishvedeva Anutad Vam Ajanan Putrach Pitaro Avrenita Pusha. When you, O Ashwins, asking her for yourself, interesting, Prichamano, arrived at the bridal ceremony of Surya on your three-wheeled chariot, Trichakrena, Vahatum Suryayach, Ayatam, when you arrived, asking, maybe this asking for oneself is a stretch to translate, but it is Atmanepadam. So asking for oneself is suitable grammatically. But they are brides man, yes? So to say they are asking the bride for Soma. Vishvedeva Anuta Dvam Ajanan. The universal gods sanctioned that for you. And Pushan, the Lord of the Sun, in the matter, in the material form, chose you as son chooses his parents. Putrach Pitaro Avrinita Pusha. This is an occultistic knowledge, esoteric. Pushan is considered to be the lord of the sun, but in the, Sri Aurobindo says, in material form he grows. He grows like from within. Pusha, from push to increase, yeah, to become full from within. From here, pushti. Yeah. So it is the sun, but in the material form. Interestingly, he is also associated with Shudra Varna. He is the Lord of the Sun, but Shudra. Shudra because he is the lowest, or reaching into the deepest material form, and from the material form reveals the Sun. So Putra, in this case, the son, chooses his parents and that is Pushan. When on you three-wheeled chariot, on your three-wheeled chariot, O Ashwins, ye came as wooers unto Surya's bridal, then all the gods agreed to your proposal. Pushan as son elected you as fathers. I translate as parents because Pitarao can be also parents and fathers, two fathers. Now we should not be bewildered by father, mother things in our own languages. Matri can be also in masculine gender. Mother can be in the masculine gender, meaning the creator, the one who creates the form. And Pitri is from root pa, to protect or to fulfill, the fulfillers or the protectors. Protectors, fulfillers, he chose you, yeah? You both, the Pushan, as the son chooses the parents. Yeah?
Vladimir, I have a question. I don't understand this thing. What is the role of the Ashwins in the marriage? I mean, they are making a proposal to the bride, and they're being elected as fathers. That means they are the groom. I mean, I'm a little confused.
Yes, this is a little confusing to all, but if you remember how the whole myth of Samjna and Vivasvat, and they have the same role there. They are bringing Usha in their chariot. Yeah, she sits in their chariot, and Surya also in their chariot. Ashwins have something to do with. Mm, they're considered as if the first. Let us say, don't want to say this because the human mind is so. Um, Yes, restricted, but they are considered the first who came to the mm, daughter of the sun as those who asked her for marriage. Yeah? They are, let us say, first husbands, as it were. There will be many husbands, by the way, of Surya. You will see them. They will all come. All the gods will come because this is the creation of the world. So they all have to come to her, and as to the mother, supramental mother, give her their input for the creation of the world. So these were Ashwins were first who came to her, asking her in the Trichakra chariot. Um, and all the gods, notice all the universal gods, agreed, Anu Ajanan, to that of theirs request. And Pushan chose them as the son chooses the fathers.
Can I ask, excuse me, can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
You just mentioned you were hesitant to say something because of the limitations of us. Why? What were you concerned about?
You caught me. Uh, yes, I'm hesitating to speak this language of the human beings with marriage, and I cannot say that, but Surya had many husbands, because people understand it differently. But Draupadi had many husbands, so it's not in that sense as we think about husband and wife and many husbands and lovers and God knows what. Mm, How to put it? We have to deconstruct the very idea of marriage. Yeah, that's why we are reading this hymn. We want to see something beyond it, something which is symbolically speaking about marriage, in which marriage actually represents, because we don't understand what marriage represents, truly speaking. Why male and female come together and the world continues, in time. This is an amazing mystery. We look at it totally narrowing down all the meanings. Meanings disappear from us. We have a totally different view on it. And here is a vaster view. Mm. And who are these Ashwins? Yes, we have to know why they're there and who are they. Ashwins are actually there were two children of Vivasvat, of the Lord of the Sun. They are children of the Sun. In Samjna, if you remember, I don't know whether you remember this, but this is a well-known myth. And also Yama and Yami, they are also um, the offspring of the Vivasvat, of the Sun. That's why he is called Vaivasvata, yes, because his father is Vivasvat. So Vivasvat is the Lord of the Sun who is involved in manifestation.
They are
The
also
eight.
healers, no?
Hmm?
They are also healers, the Ashwin twins.
Right. They are healers, considered to be the healers. They are the supramental twins. let us say this way, because they are the children of the sun, supramental twins which, how to say, ride the horse of life. And notice that Ashwins in Mahabharata are Nakula and Sahadeva. And there it's quite interesting because both of them, one is of knowledge, another is of power. Nakula is very knowledgeable and Sahadeva is very mighty, powerful. Sahadeva. Yeah, Saha is the power. So they are both representing knowledge and power on the level of life. Life consists of two elements. Yeah? Knowledge is above, power is below, and there is a split and mismatch. And that split is antariksha, which separated the upper hemisphere with lower. You remember in the world stare, in the book, second book, Sri Aurobindo rises, and it's quite interesting. He moves up, 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 and then there is gap, yeah, the descent into the night, the mother of evil and the sons of darkness, the deepest dive, and then there is on the other shore, we have the paradise of life gods. So we have, life is kind of split in between the lower part of life and the higher part of life, and that what generates and makes life powerful. And Ashwins, in this case, represent two poles of life which are harmonized by the supramental power. That's why they can heal. Yeah? Because the higher and the lower are intact. They are harmonized. And the healing is possible. Well, we will come to Ashwins later because there are many hymns to Ashwins. If we we will arrive at them one day, I guess. Or we will meet them here and there. So there will be the idea of the supramental presence of the riders on the life force. These two, they are twins. They're both there together. And these two, as the representatives of the power of the sun, have to drive the Surya to her husband. They are the link to the life world from the supramental world. Total secure, a secure drive. You know? Well, there can be, I think more can be said, but let us move forward. So all the gods agreed to their proposal, and Pushan, the sun god on the material plane, if Ashwins are on the vital plane, supramental, then Pusha is the supramental sun on the material plane, chose them as their fathers, as his fathers.
Vladimir, the Vahatum, is it accusative infinitive?
Right. No, it's not infinitive. In this case, Vahatu is the ceremony, yes, of marriage ceremony.
Okay.
But it's interesting what you ask, that Vahatum, or it would be differently made, yeah, Vodhum. But this tum suffix in the infinitive is actually accusative originally. It is accusative originally, which became infinitive.
So this is like just a separate, they consider it a separate word, Vahatu.
Yes.
Okay.
There are some such words like vasatih, vahatuh. Sri Aurobindo looks into it in his Origins of Aryan Speech, that can be different endings, u, e, and so on. It's an ancient language. There was more possibilities than in classical time. All right, let me move. This becomes interesting because Ashwins are those who bring her down to the vital world, and Pusha is the one who represents the supramental on the level of the matter, material creation. Yad ayatam shubhaspati vareyam suryam upa. Kvaikam chakram vam asit. Kva aikam chakram vam asit. Kva deshtraya tasthatuhu. Tasthatuh. Kva deshtraya. How to deconstruct? Kuva. Kuva deshtraya tasthatuh. There is always some samprasarana. Samprasarana when there is sandhi or two, like kuva here, kuva deshtraya tasthatuh, then the meter is deconstructed. Yad ayam shubhas, yad ayam shubhaspati. Sorry, I wrong. Yad ayatam shubhaspati vareyam suryam upa. Kvai kam chakram vam asit, kvai kam chakram vam asit. No, kvai kam chakram vam asit. You see the construction. Kvai kam chakram vam asit, kva kuva deshtraya tasthatuh. Interesting sounding language, yes, when it is, when sandhis are not total yet. It is still there in the making. When you have come, O Lord of bliss, O Lords of bliss, two of them, yeah, Shubhaspati, as bridesmen approaching this Surya, Vara iyam Suryam Upa, approaching Upa, literally closer. Where was one of your wheels? Kva ekam chakram vam asit. Where did you stay to command the ceremony? Kva deshtraya, deshtraya here is to command, dative case. Tasthatuh, tasthatuh, use, both stood. Where did you stay to command or to point out where everything has to go? So interestingly, this that they have some role to play, yeah, the Lords of Bliss. The Lords of Bliss here are Ashwins, yeah? Two of them. They are Vara. Interestingly, that they are named here as Vara because Vara is actually a husband, the future husband, or the bridegroom. So you two bridegrooms, yeah? So when you approach Surya, the blissful lords, where was your one wheel? They have three wheels, and one wheel, where was it? Where did you stay to point or to command or to direct, let us say, the ceremony? Also very occult thing. We have no idea what are these wheels. Three wheels and one wheel is hidden and two wheels are not. We will read about them more in the next. Dvete chakre suriye. Duvete chakre suriye brahmana ritutha viduh. Athaikam chakram yad guha tad adhataya id viduh. Two of your wheels of Surya. Why some suddenly Surya? They and not to Ashwins. They speak two of your wheels of Surya. The Brahmins know in accordance with the time frame, Ritutha, in accordance with the Ritu, with the season, or with the dynamic truth manifesting in time. Brahmana, the priests, or the carriers of the word, or the creators. The creators know in accordance with the time frame your two chakras, or Surya. Athaikam chakram yad guha, or one, but one wheel that is hidden in the cave of the heart. I'm adding cave of the heart. It's not there, but guha, guhayam is here. So in the cave or hidden, one chakra that is hidden in the cave of the heart, I added, that the wise man know indeed. I will read Griffith. The Brahmins, by their sessions, know, O Surya, those two wheels of thine, one kept concealed, those only two are skilled, those only who are skilled in the highest truths have learned. So, what is that third chakra? Most probably it is hidden either behind the veil, or it is some transcendental chakra. Maybe these chakras are altogether chakras of the sun. Sri Aurobindo speaks that there are 7 discs of the sun. Somewhere in his description of the sun, he says that Vivasvat actually took possession of our sun to assist the evolution on Earth. And there are 7 discs of the sun. There is a deity behind the sun. We know these 7, yes? These are 7 sons of Aditi. Varuna, Mitra, Aryaman, Bhaga, Daksha, Amsha, and Surya. These are the 7 godheads behind it, which sun represents. What we see is the form of the sun, but behind him and the sun, there are suns upon suns, discs upon discs, or different qualities, or different faculties of the sun, of the Divine Mother. So 2 chakras, the Brahmanas know in accordance with the dynamic truth, or according to the season, most probably in time they know them too. But the third one is hidden in the cave, and only the wise men know about it.
So why is it due to seasons?
Well, what do you think?
Oh, Vladimir, in the 14th hymn, where he talks of the bulls being killed at that bad or evil period, could that then be like fall to winter when the daylight becomes shorter?
Well,
Since we're talking of seasons here.
right, they are identified with constellations. I don't think so. Magha is somewhere in the spring, or the end of the winter and beginning of spring. Maybe. Can be that.
Something when the daylight shortens.
No, as of currently, Vladimir, Posha is winter, early winter, and Magha is very deep winter.
Oh,
So,
maybe I'm totally wrong. Truly speaking, yes.
and a lot of marriages do happen in these 2 months, actually,
Oh, then I'm totally
as far as I
mistaken.
know.
Yeah, I'm mistaken totally. Yes, I thought that.
I remember these words in the Bengali Panjika.
Yes, that's right.
right? That's why I said that.
I think Angela must know better, Magha, where it belongs. Yeah?
Yeah, Magha is the Regulus, the star, and which is kind of near Leo. So when the full moon is near Leo, then the sun is in Capricorn. So then at this point of time, that that would have been, yeah, the winter solstice.
It will be around December, I think.
Yeah, winter solstice.
Well, that makes totally sense then. Then the
Yeah.
bulls are killed. That means the light is the diminished to the lowest degree. Yes, absolutely.
That's what I was thinking, because then the light has to be very short.
Right. Then it can be symbolically read, and not only killing the bulls, because truly speaking, the animals are also killed in winter. You know? Because the meat has to be preserved in the cold season. So once it is all done, and then it is the whole year is there till next winter. It's even nowadays the same way in the villages, yeah,
Yeah.
all over the world, not only in India. But why these other ones, Purva and Uttara Phalguni, are called Arjuni, then the bright ones? They are bright.
Falguni is spring, absolutely. That much I
Mm.
think.
We say no Phalgun Mash.
Yeah, so it's spring. Flowers.
So how come that only 1 month per winter? Oh, it is solstice. If it is solstice, then you have in 1 month, yeah, there will be like February starting, and then already March is there. In India, most probably it's already spring. Yeah? Correct.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Thank you for this. It's interesting. Yeah, then it fits. So the chakras, the 3 chakras, or Surya, the Brahmins know Ritudha, according to the Ritu. If these 3 chakras are the 3 months, the one is hidden in the cave, and the 2 are known. I do not know, truly speaking. Don't want to too much kind of speculate. I would rather stick with the text.
In the nakshatra list, like the 2 Falgunis that come after the Magha. So there's Magha, and then there's Purva Falguni, and then Uttara Falguni. So
Yeah.
they just come immediately afterwards.
So it is after 28 days or something, up to the month, yes, basically. It comes. It's on a monthly
Well,
basis.
I mean, it's like at the start, there's Regulus, and then Purva Falguni, and then
Oh, yeah.
Uttara Falguni. So, yeah. They would just be the immediately, I mean, just immediate
Next to
succession.
it.
So,
Right. Well, there are interesting words here also, adhati, which is used only in this hymn, nowhere else. We just translate it as sage in the dictionary, but I don't think even. I was thinking why adha is in this way, manifestly, certainly, truly. So adhati could be the one who knows it for certain, or in this time, in this moment of time, in this way as it is. As it is a good way. Could be that this is the word. Otherwise, very difficult to understand how to get to this formation. All right. They know. Someone knows where the third one is hiding. It's hidden somewhere deeply within the third chakra of Surya now, not of the Ashwins, most probably because she is in that chariot with them. Suryayai Devebhyo. I have to deconstruct. Suryayai Devebhyo Mitraya Varunaya Cha Ye Bhutasya Prachetasa Idam Tebhyo Karam Namah. To Surya and the gods, to Mitra and Varuna, to those who are aware of the world becoming, to them I bowed or surrendered. I made my surrender, literally. Akaram namah. Idam namah, akaram tebhyah, to them. So to Surya, to the gods, to Mitra and Varuna, and to those who are bhutasya prachetasach, who are, how to say, prachetas is the equivalent of prajna, of the one who knows objectively, or who knows in manifested form, or who knows it as it is manifested, of bhuta. Bhuta is the becoming, or that which has become. So that's why I put world becoming, of how world becomes. You know? To those who are aware of how world becomes, to them I bowed, or made my surrender. So to Surya, to the gods, to Mitra and Varuna, and to those who know this world in its unfolding. It's something unexpected here. After all these words, about three chakras, one is hidden, one is known to the priests, and then I bow to all these Godheads and to the knowledgeable ones. And then there is a shift. I think this is a line which is separating previous part from the next. And here there is a new kind of theme. Purva param charatach mayaya etau shishu kridanto pariyato advaram vishvani anyo bhuvana bhichaste abhichaste ritun anyo vidadhat jayate punah. Forward and backward, these two move by the power of Maya. Like two playing children, they move around the pilgrimage sacrifice. Pari adhvaram yatah. One of them views all the worlds. The other establishes the frames of time and is born again. Purva param, purva and apara, yes? So to say, backward and forward, back and forth. Charatach, they both move. Maya, ya, by the Maya. Etau shishu, these two kids, even babies, kridanto, playing. Pariyatach, advaram, go around this moving pilgrim sacrifice. They go and round this moving forward sacrifice. Vishvani Anyobhuvanani Abhichaste, and all these worlds, one is overviewing, one of them. Most probably, if we are talking about Ashwins, then it will be Nakula in Mahabharatic terms. Nakula overviews all the worlds because this is part of knowledge. And Yovidadhat, Rutun, and the other is establishing the powers of dynamic truth in time and is born again. Or here is even more interesting. If Ashwins are those, one part is unborn self of ourself, and the other part is inborn self, you know, in time and space. And that's why another one is establishing the ritus, the seasons, and is born again. Whereas the first one, as the Jivatma, looks at the worlds from above, observes all of them, and the other one is establishing the seasons, the dynamic truth in time, and is born again. Very possibly that this is the kind of extension of the understanding of Ashwins. All right, I will stop here because my head is spinning already so strong. So we can maybe discuss some thoughts. We share your thoughts, ideas, impressions. We didn't come to Kinshuk. We will come next time.
Oh, mind. I know what kingship is actually. Vladimir, that last verse reminded me of something else. That is, there were two birds sitting on the branch of a tree. One was jumping about from branch to branch, eating the fruits, and the other was observing the first one. So somehow I felt that this was describing two levels of consciousness, actually.
Yeah, the same as Jivatma and Antaratma.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. One is belonging to this power where the world is being manifested, and the other belongs to the other shore of Antariksha, from where he observes and looks at it as from the life gods, paradise of life gods. You know, this viewing everything as it is. Of course, we are dealing with spiritual knowledge, and these are the symbolic expressions we have to understand. Yes, they have to kind of point us in the right direction of our searching spirit, and then we feel them, some shift or some presence. And that's if we go deeper and deeper, we will find more and more this supporting presence. We are still on the surface. So this marriage is really a very, very interesting from the esoteric point of view process. In Puranas, they will call the Ananda Loka as Janar Loka, the Loka of generation, of birth. The souls are born and come down into this physical form. If you just think for a second of what it means, it is Anandamaya Purusha, yes, who is descending into this form. And this process is, of course, it is managed by nature and so on, but nature is just doing the same what the spirit is intending, you know, has behind her actions. So this spiritual look at even marriage, and especially at marriage, changes a lot because we are all drawn wrongly to the marriage because of lower vital forces. But if you look from the higher point of view, I think it is amazing.
Vladimir,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
I just had a thought. Maybe everything works in pairs. Man, woman, marriage, forward, backward, movement, inborn, outerborn, the wheels of the chariot. If everything works in pairs, then there is some harmony, something is born out of it, something higher. That is why the marriage? I don't know, just a
Yeah.
thought.
In
So
the high
must-
sense, it should be something higher. Yes.
Yeah,
And it is, because the children and children of the children and so on, they will generate a new world. I was listening to the mother today, how she spoke to this Surendra. I posted there. It's so beautiful. She says, but the world is imperfect. It is full of pain, suffering, darkness. It is as it is. It's not yet finished, she says. It's not yet finished. I like the word. So we are in unfinished world. So what shall we do in the unfinished world? And she says, surrender. Surrender to the divine. This is the only thing. You will get everything. The portion of the world you will get anyhow, whether you surrender or not. You will be in the imperfect world. We are trying to avoid those imperfections outwardly and by managing things and so on. But there is a direct way to change it, is to surrender to the divine and bear the pains of the world. Yeah?
Mm.
Instead of running away from them. There's no way to run away from them anyhow. It's just an illusion. The world is imperfect as it is this. So to secure our own, so to say, place, we cause much more harm to others. Instead, we could really open up to the divine and let it be responsible for everything that happens. It's a very wise suggestion. Difficult to make. She says, no, it's not difficult. It's actually easy to him. He says, it's difficult. No, no difficult. Where would I find this support, he says. He says, the divine is in you. Support is there. So from this point of view, of course, marriage is altogether miraculous. Some people asked Sri Aurobindo about this, in the evening talks, to explain them the necessity of this marriage and so on. And he says he cannot explain to them because they're not ready to receive the truth. And they asked whether it will be in the future, marriage, whether it will continue, and what is the role of bringing children to birth and so on. So he cannot explain because our mind is framed for different understanding. So this is something about this hymn also, to break to the truth of the birth of a human beings, the spirit in matter, in material form. It's a miraculous act of the divine.
Mm.
Yes, Robin.
This is going back a couple of conversations that you mentioned. You said that souls are born in a certain realm. And I was wondering, is in a certain cycle, say in the cycle of creation of a certain world, like this world, are there a finite number of souls who were created since the inception of the world? Or are souls actually born and come into being as part of the evolutionary process of the world?
What do you think?
If in the evolution of consciousness, if we could just look at it as consciousness, we go from the very elemental, as I understand it, we go from the very elemental rudimentary consciousness of mineral to plant to animal, and then we become human and then proceed to divine. And in that process of the evolution of consciousness, a human being has derived from previous evolution. That would indicate that there aren't a certain set number of souls in the beginning of creation, that actually there's a process of, through creation, human beings come into being. And then it could be an infinite number. Of course, it would be like people coming into a class and into 12th grade, and then they graduate from 12th grade. So there would be a changeover of souls in the human world continually, as souls come in and they leave. But I also think that we existed in the very beginning of time as souls.
Part of the divine, as part of the divine, yes. We have a memory of the divine because we have the divine origin, and somehow we know what is true, whether it is there or not. Yes, somehow we feel it and intuit
We have
it.
a recollection of what it was like in the very beginning. And it's like we have a mission. Each of us was set out with a mission.
Yeah. Yeah. And the mission is to what? What is the mission?
That's a very profound question. And I wonder if we all have the same feeling, or if we each have an
Same mission.
individual feeling. Yeah.
What do you think? Somebody thinks, what is our mission here? What are we doing here altogether? It's like, oh,
I have a thought, sorry.
Go ahead.
I have a thought, a very unusual one. There's a short story by Isaac Asimov called Does a Bee Care? In which a kind of extraterrestrial being comes and all he cares about is to build a cocoon and become a honeybee and go back to his home. And while doing so, he transforms the world. It's an interesting story. So I think we are basically trying to get back home, and in the process, we are changing the world. That's a mission.
very nice. So the world is not something objectively, I also think similar, objectively existing in which we are here, to have troubles and so on, and growth. We are building our worlds together with our growth. We are constant co-creators. This world which is today was never before, because of us here, and because of other souls, and because of the psychic being of Earth, which actually is our true mother, gave us psychic presence first, which that spark, which became finally, grew into the psychic being. And the growing of the psychic being is a process, long process over time. So with the help of the powers from above, the gods, with the resistance from below, all that matters. Yeah? And so all that works. Two mothers of Agni, of dawn and night, are feeding the flame, and flame is growing. It is that flame, that true being in us, which has to grow and come to the front. The mission can be simply explained as Kirit Joshi once explained to Aurobilians when he was coming to us and was reading his lectures of Life Divine in the last school. And he said, can you imagine that we all signed a contract with the divine that we will, I most probably had spoke about this because it's a funny story, that we all come down to earth and we will build for the divine a home where the divine can be fully in full kind of life and consciousness and bliss. But yeah, so we had to plunge into the darkness and start building this for the divine. But in the contract, as it happens, he says, with small letters there below was written a condition, which we didn't read. The moment we plunge into the darkness, we will forget about our mission. We will have it within ourselves, but we will not remember it in the mind. So here we are. We forgot about the contract and we are still looking for the divine embodiment. And until it is done, we will never be satisfied. We will never stop moving. I think it's a very nice way to say, not only to the children, but also to the adults. So we don't remember our mission, but we feel it. We are dissatisfied. We do not know why we are dissatisfied, because there is something in us which wants to fulfill it.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
For
agree
Robbins.
with that. I agree with that. I think that's very appropriate because it's not something that we understand with our mind, but we can reflect on what we feel. And there seems to be, to me, I feel like there was a glorious start to all of this, way somewhere in the past. And in that light, the recollection of that light seems to be in our soul. It's not terribly conscious, but if we reflect on it, we can develop a sense for it. And that's what we will perhaps go back to. Maybe that's what keeps us going forward, is because we long for that. We yearn for it. And when we will at some point in time, I think, we'll return to that.
Yeah. Return or arrive at it. I think arrive rather. Great. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. It was lovely. I will close with a mantra.
Thank you.
Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hadi Om.